Hello everyone, artist Charles Wolf here. I hope you're having a fantastic week this week. Very excited today to start this large abstract and show you how it's done. It's not very difficult to do, and you only need two colors to paint this piece. Phthalo Green and Cadmium Yellow Medium, and those are the only two acrylic colors that you need to paint it. I'm going to start out with the Phthalo Green and make a swath of it on the top right at a diagonal, and then I'm going to grab immediately some of the Cadmium Yellow Medium, working that into the Phthalo Green that I've already placed on the canvas. Don't forget to do the edges and the borders of your canvas while you're painting. I find it's very easy to forget to do that. Grab those edges while you still have some of those colors on your brush. It's not very hard to do, a few strokes here and there, and it'll look a lot better in the end. You might have noticed that my canvas is red, and that's because I've taken some red vermilion gesso. It's a medium that helps add some warmth and vibrancy to my paintings. This is useful because to me, acrylic paint aesthetically has a distinct lack of luster to it, and so anything we can do to add some warmth and vibrancy is a good idea. And my solution to this problem with the acrylic paint is to use the gesso. I should also note that the reason why acrylic paint is not as vibrant as, say, oil paint is because acrylic paint is made out of plastic, which gives it a very flat aesthetic. Here, I am taking a lot of the Cadmium Yellow Medium. Worked it into the left-hand side and a bit on the right-hand side. Now for this piece, I'm gently blending into the Phthalo Green that I have at the center, and I want to make sure that I preserve some of that pure color right at the center of this work. I really like to keep the brushwork active and loose. My wrist is very relaxed and I'm using a very light touch. Grabbing some more of the Phthalo Green here. And do you notice how much paint I'm placing? I'm taking lots of it. I'm being very liberal with the amount of paint that I'm putting onto my brush. I can go back and I can add more yellow to it. I can adjust it as I want to, but first, just get it on the canvas. Notice how quickly I am working. This painting doesn't take very long to create. It's only about 7 minutes of work. The big thing is to not overmix the yellow into the Phthalo Green. You want to have sections where it's almost pure yellow, and then you want to have sections where it's a mixture of the two, and then of course, sections where it's pure green. Taking some more of the Phthalo Green here, working that upwards. I'm using a piece of cardboard for my palette today. Best of all, it's cheap and disposable, and it looks good on camera. I don't want something with a bunch of paint already on it, so it looks messy and it's hard to see what colors I'm using. If you run out of paint on your palette, you can very easily add some more to it. I find if you put too much out at the beginning, acrylic paint dries pretty quickly, and it may run out on you. Basically, take it easy at the beginning, and you can add more later if you need it. For example, I'm running out of the yellow here, so I'm going to put some more out in just a few moments. Whenever you're painting any piece of art, but especially if you're doing an abstract, I find it's more fun if you're spontaneous. Don't feel like your painting needs to look exactly like mine. In fact, I'd rather you try to take some of the ideas from this painting and make it your own and create your own work of art. Your painting doesn't need to have the exact same layout or composition as mine, but perhaps you could use similar colors. The biggest piece of advice that I can give to really any artist, but especially to beginning artists, is to just relax and have fun with it. If you're creating an abstract, it doesn't need to look like anything. It can just be a celebration of texture, movement, color, and composition. Now that may seem like a lot of things kind of involved. Don't worry about it right now. Take it one step at a time. Ultimately, just relax and don't overthink what you're doing. Especially if you're creating abstracts, the more sort of loose and spontaneous that you can make them, the more energetic that they will feel. I find that if I take a lot of time to overthink and to pause and try to get every little detail correct when you're doing an abstract, especially an abstract in this very loose kind of fluidic style, This is a great piece for beginners to try. If you've never tried painting before, then I always recommend that you start with an abstract. Now, why do I say that? For a couple of reasons, actually. Well, it allows you to experiment with color mixing, using a brush to apply paint to a canvas, holding the brush, manipulating the brush in certain ways to get different effects, and you can really just let your imagination go and try really anything. There's no wrong answer. There's no rules that you have to consider when you're painting an abstract. Go with what feels right and what looks right and what you aesthetically enjoy seeing, and you can't go wrong. Alright, the glare is gone as I have turned off the overhead light that was on in my room, my painting room. And so now you can get a better idea of what the painting looks like, and you can see all the yellow against that phthalo green. Just a bit more yellow here, and we will be done with this abstract. So much fun and very easy to do.